Hey! Hi guys, so last year we made a really important video called How We Paid Off Our Mortgage in 7 years. In fact, more than 5,000 of you have subscribed to this channel from that one video alone. The best bit is that you get back 14 years of your life back, mortgage free. That for me was appealing. If that doesn't turn you on, right? I don't know what does. I know I'm being a bit geeky right there. And this goes to show us that becoming mortgage free is something that many people dream about. It's a goal that many people would love to achieve. And I can tell you what it is. What it is about mortgage freedom is the mental freedom. I cannot tell you how amazing it feels to be mortgage free. In fact, and you're gonna laugh at me, sometimes I go for a walk, I go the long route just to come back and point to my house and go, that's my mortgage-free house. And then I open my door and I walk straight in and I feel like this is my mortgage-free landing. And I absolutely love my mortgage-free home. But on a serious note, through this period where we've all been going through many challenges, with this thing that's been going on with the economy, being mortgage-free has given us a lot of peace. And that mental freedom is something that not many people talk about. So today, I want to go back to that particular video we made, but explore specific questions that people asked outside of the video itself. These are new questions that I'm going to give answers to for how to pay off your mortgage early. But we're going to do this in a really fun way. I'm going to read the comments from specific people. I wonder if it's going to be you. I'm going to read those comments, I'm going to show them on the screen, and then I'm going to tackle that specific comment and give it an answer, and that answer will be the hack for how to pay off your mortgage early. Make sense? Alright, whilst you're here, come on, why don't you hit that subscribe button, show a brother some love, as well as hit that like button if you're really enjoying this particular video. Alright, let's dive straight in. My name's Ken of the Humble Penny and Financial Joy Academy. What we do on this channel is to give you guys the tips, the insights, the practical hacks to help you work towards a dream life. And this can become real of financial independence and money joy. All right, let's dive straight in and look at these specific hacks for how to pay off your mortgage early and become absolutely 100% debt free. Okay, I'm going to read from my iPad, and this very first comment comes from That Amber Chick. That Amber Chick said, "Thank you so much for this video as it's quite relevant to me. Is a mortgage advisor or a mortgage broker the same? I'm looking at getting a mortgage, and how much do they charge roughly for their services?" This particular comment leads to my very first hack about becoming mortgage free, which is that you should use a mortgage advisor. So let me just explain. So the mortgage broker / advisor are typically used interchangeably. But essentially, what you're looking for here is someone, and there's a reason for this, is someone who can tell you what products are out there in the marketplace specific to your own needs. Okay? Because there are products that are available which you might not be able to find by going to all these mortgage comparison websites. These brokers have relationships, they have a way in which they can access deals that are not specifically available in the public domain ordinarily. Now, the type of mortgage advisor you should get is the type that gets paid once you've gotten yourself a mortgage, okay? So once you've either remortgaged or if you're starting out completely afresh, once you've gotten yourself a mortgage, they get paid by the bank themselves, okay? Now there's a reason why I'm saying get yourself a mortgage advisor, which is leading to my very next hack, which is to get a mortgage product with no overpayment cap. And many people raised this particular point in that previous video we made, with many people asking, for example, Natalie Murray said, "Great video, I'm curious, how did you manage early repayment charges? Normally you can only pay 10% extra per year. Were your rates generally flexible and therefore able to pay as much as you wanted?" So she's asking this very critical question. Now, this is related to my first point about getting yourself a mortgage advisor. Now, there are two key types of products that you can get, broadly speaking. So you can either get a fixed product through your mortgage advisor, and if you got yourself a fixed product, you'll without a doubt, most likely be tied into an early repayment charge tied to your mortgage. So they will have a 10% overpayment allowance, and say for example, your mortgage is $250,000, 10% of that is 25,000, okay? Which is more than 2 grand per month of overpayments. Now, you can stick within your 10% allowance and pay that, okay? That's one way of doing it if you've got yourself a fixed rate deal. And obviously, if you're paying 2 grand extra per month, let's not forget that's a lot of money for that scenario, for example. If you're paying that additional thing every single month, what you can do, and this is the hack, if you wanted to pay beyond the 10%, is to wait until your fixed rate deal ends. Because at the end of that deal, you're no longer tied to that 10% cap, as well as being tied down by that early repayment charge. So that's one of the things we did in order to accelerate this journey. The alternative is for you to get a variable deal with your mortgage advisor. And this is the thing we did as well. And the variable deals are fantastic because you can find lenders that offer you mortgage products without any form of cap at all. There is no cap whatsoever. And you overpay as much as you want. And there are, without me mentioning specific names, one that starts with the letter N. You know, you can pretty much guess who I'm talking about. And I'm quite sure they're still offering those products, but do make sure you check yourself. Those products without a 10% cap exist, okay? Use a mortgage advisor to find those products, and only when you get the mortgage via you remortgaging or whatever, only when you do that, do they then get paid their commissions, and that commission is paid for by the bank. Okay, so the next question I got was from Michaela Mervin, who said, "Hi Ken, great video. What's the process for setting up standing orders to overpay on a mortgage? Did you have 2 standing orders, one at the start of the month and one at the middle of the month?" So she's asking because I mentioned this idea of paying your mortgage twice in a month, which leads me very neatly to my third hack, which is to automate your mortgage overpayments. So I explained in that video we made about how we paid off our mortgage in 7 years, the importance of overpayments, and we illustrated various scenarios. But the key thing is for you to actually automate your overpayments, and anything beyond that, yes, of course you can pay, but the key is to automate. This is a behavioral thing, because what it does is that it gets you accustomed to a certain level of payments every single month. And what you find is that you then adjust your spending each month to make sure that that level of overpayment goes out every single month without fail. So in terms of the question that she asked, the key thing for you to do in order to set this up is to call your bank. Call your mortgage company and say to them, "Hey, here's my mortgage roll number. I'd love to know, please, what's my sort code and account number for me to be able to make overpayments." They will give you that sort code and account number, and you simply take that, go into your online banking, and once you've logged in, create a standing order to that specific sort code and account number, and put your mortgage roll number or your mortgage reference in the reference section. So that way, by doing that, you've basically committed yourself to making that level of overpayment every month or twice a month, depending on what your setup might be. And the beauty of doing it as a standing order is that over time, if you ever wanted to change that, if you ever wanted to reduce it or increase that amount or stop that amount for any reason in your own personal life, you could simply just go online again and make those changes via your banking mandate. And to answer her question about whether we had a payment at the start of the month and one at the middle, yes. We typically had our mortgage go out on the first day of each month, and then around the middle of each month, we made another payment. And the impact of making those 2 payments is that essentially we're paying off a lot more of the capital element of our mortgage, thereby reducing the impact of compounding when it came to interest and getting us to that point of mortgage freedom a lot quicker, which in our case was in 7 years. Okay, so question number 4 came from Rashid Raja, who said, "Thank you, great video. You've given me the motivation to push myself to increase my payments when I buy my next property." Then they said, "Would you recommend that I pay a bigger deposit when buying or hold the money back and then make overpayments instead?" This is a really interesting question, because the obvious answer to me is simply make a bigger deposit when you're buying a property. Because essentially, the less money you borrow, the more likely you pay your debt off and therefore become mortgage free. Which then plays into this idea around location, because one point worth making from our journey is that the key thing with our journey towards mortgage freedom is that we bought a property outside of a major city like London in our case. Okay, we live just on the outskirts of London. In fact, Within a few minutes walk, we're in the London area per se, just from our home. But the fact that we bought just outside meant that we were able to buy our property at a much cheaper price. And by doing that, we borrowed a lot less money. In our case, we still borrowed quite a lot, 330,000 thereabouts, and we paid off in interest about 60,000. Totally, we paid off 390,000 thereabouts. So between 380 and 390,000. Still quite a lot of money, but a lot less compared to, say, if we had gone and bought within London itself. So essentially the point here is this, and the hack is the less you borrow, the better. And this really should make you think, if you're somebody who's already living somewhere and already has a mortgage, could there be a case for you to move home as a way for you to become mortgage free a lot faster? I'm just going to leave that as an idea in your mind for you to think about, because sometimes it might be that you not only want to make overpayments and the various things that I've shared on this particular video and the previous one, you might want to really consider this idea of actually moving home as a way for you to actually owe less and therefore become mortgage free a lot faster. Okay, so to demonstrate hack number 5, let's read this comment here from Alan Masso, who said, "Who can afford to make overpayments of £1,000 per month on a recently acquired mortgage?" 2 question marks he put down. And I'm thinking to myself, I remember reading this thinking to myself, this is really interesting. The key point to make is that we did not start making £1,000 overpayments immediately. We gradually built up to that. And that's the real mindset shift to have, which is that, yes, it will be amazing if we got to that point where we're overpaying by £1,000 and beyond. But how about just starting with £50 per month or £100 per month? And as you adjust your lifestyle, as you hustle via various side hustles and do various things to generate extra income, you might find yourself hitting £250 each month or £500 each month or even £1,000 and beyond. In our case, in some months, we'll go way beyond £1,000 because we had figured out a way to generate alternative sources of income as well as to adjust our lifestyles to create that margin for those overpayments to be delivered and made real. So the key here is to really focus on making this fun. Start very small and gamify it. And the minute you start to see the impact of those overpayments on your debt over time, this will give you a lot of motivation in order for you to find alternative sources, for you to build up those extra bits of income to make those overpayments real. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video on how to pay off your mortgage early. A follow-up from our previous video, as I mentioned before. Paying off your mortgage really is game-changing. Don't listen to anybody who tells you that, nah, don't pay off your mortgage. Listen, I'm telling you, it will change your life. Beyond the mental freedom I mentioned earlier, there is so much optionality that paying off your mortgage gives you. So much. The fact that I'm able to do the things I love today would not have been possible without us first paying off that mortgage and just removing that mental thing, that baggage around debt, and just becoming 100% mortgage free. Now, it doesn't stop us, by the way, becoming investors in different areas. We've got other assets that we are invested into, and our investing journey carries on in different ways and in different assets, including property assets, by the way. But the key for us is that becoming mortgage free from a personal perspective in our home as well as in our personal finances generally has been a game changer. And I highly recommend really pursuing this goal of mortgage freedom and making it a core part of your journey towards financial independence. If you've really enjoyed this video, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your debt-free journey looking like? That mortgage-free journey, what's it currently looking like for you? And what sacrifices are you having to make in order for you and your family to become mortgage-free? I'd love to know. Share in the comments. I think it's very important for people to see what other people are doing, what sacrifices they're making in order for them to achieve their goals. And it's very important for us to share that and for other people to have complete visibility, because it might even give them the encouragement as well as the ideas that they can pursue as well in order to become mortgage free in the future. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed it, please make sure you hit that like button as well as subscribe. If you've been watching these videos for some time, have you subscribed? Please make sure you subscribe because it really helps to grow our channel and make sure that we reach many more people and help many more people over time. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you again on our next video. As ever, in all things, be thankful and seek joy. Take care and bye for now.